Hello, my name is Deanna Hope, and welcome back to Spooky Spotlight, the show where I shine a light on horror films that you may or may not have heard of. Today, we will be discussing The Fourth Kind, a 2009 sci-fi thriller directed by Olatunde Osusami. Mila Jokovic plays a psychologist, Dr. Abigail Tyler, in the remote community in Nome, Alaska. Several of her clients are experiencing the same bizarre phenomenon in the middle of the night. She then starts drawing parallels from their experiences to her husband's mysterious death. The unique thing about this film is they actually show us real footage and we hear real audio throughout the film from the actual real-life events. The real-life events involve many people disappearing in mysterious ways over the span of multiple decades, as well as UFO sightings in the same place around the same time period. Mila Jokovic herself comes on screen before the film starts and explains that and also warns people. So this is me warning you guys that I will be using real footage and not so much the real audio, but real footage throughout this video. The film is so accurate throughout the film we see side-by-sides of the reenactment compared to the real-life event. The FBI says that the disappearances has to do with an over-excessive amount of drinking paired with cold weather. But of course they would. Throughout the film, we sit in with Abigail through multiple sessions with her different clients who all say the same thing. They all say they wake up during the night and through their window there is a white owl staring at them. I love the imagery here throughout the film. They show white owls like directly looking into the lens. It's very eerie yet calm at the same time. Dr. Abigail Tyler is actually trained in hypnosis therapy, so she decides to hypnotize one of her clients who experiences these owl sightings. Throughout the hypnosis sessions, he very much starts making a lot of weird sounds, becoming very frightful, and ends up panicking. So they end up sending him home and stopping the hypnosis immediately. Later that night, Abigail ends up getting a call that her client not only unalived his family, but he also harmed himself, all while saying, "We won't have to experience that ever again." The cops find it suspicious that the same day that she hypnotized him, he ends up committing such a gruesome crime, so they are immediately suspicious of Abigail. Another reason they're immediately suspicious is due to her late husband's unsolved death. He died in the middle of the night in their bed, and she actually was there with him when it happened. She's convinced that there was an intruder that they never caught. So she decides to try hypnosis on another patient who pretty much asked for it. He asked her to hypnotize him, and he had experienced the owl as well. And when he becomes hypnotized, it's almost as if he's possessed. Like, he makes a lot of really loud, strange sounds. He ends up panicking as well, so she stops the hypnosis. The only difference is, after he comes to, he's actually able to explain to her things he saw. And after explaining so much, her and him come to the conclusion that aliens. Now, due to all these creepy experiences and her husband dying, she becomes extremely paranoid and she's convinced that they're visiting her in the night. She even has a tape recording that originally was just her and a client, but there's some strange voice happening, and it's actually a dead language she's hearing. And not only just a dead language, but the first ever recorded dead language. She ends up taking the recording to her late husband's friend who specializes in dead languages, and he ends up warning her that he believes, from what he could tell, that her and her family are in danger. Abigail panics and starts packing for her and her kids to leave town. However, before she could leave, the cops show up accusing her of murder, where she convinces them, instead of arresting me and separating me from my children, please just put me on house arrest and please let me stay with them. So I've watched a lot of horror movies in my lifetime, so it's rare where I genuinely become scared because of a film. But when I was watching this film alone, in the dark, in my room, I really did get creeped out a bit, and I think it's mainly due to the real audio that they use. I'm not going to play any of the audio in this video, so that's why I highly recommend you go watch this film and find out for yourself. During the night, Abigail's daughter disappears, and when the cops show up, they question her. They're like, "What did you do with your daughter?" She claims that aliens abducted her. The police didn't have enough evidence to arrest Abigail. However, because she was hysterical and talking about aliens, they end up taking her son away from her. Now, to this day, in real life, her son does not speak to her. He blames her for the death of his father and the disappearance of his sister. Once it's over, the actors once again come on screen and verify that all these events actually took place and pretty much tell the audience to believe what they want to believe. I have been to Alaska on multiple occasions. I've actually been to Nome, Alaska. I love Alaska. It is so beautiful. It is one of my favorite places to go. However, it also, like being so secluded and woodsy, it very much, if like this sort of thing was to happen, it would happen in a place like Nome, Alaska. Do you believe Abigail? Do you not believe Abigail? Do you think that she killed her daughter and her husband? Or do you think that they genuinely were abducted and killed by aliens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all for listening for another episode, and I'll see you next week.